Hello, Eildon West, it's Roddy Graham here again for another Q&A Inspire video. This is video 4 in the series. If you've missed any of the previous 3, then click the channel in the YouTube video link and you'll be able to catch up with all of the videos that I've made so far. Thank you for sending in some emails to me as well. I've got some more questions for you today and we'll get those answered as we move on. On this week's video, we are going to be having a look at the Whiteboard app and how you can get pupils to collaborate on their work using that, both in class and out of class. How we're going to use the presenter mode within Pages to convert your iPad into a reading auto cue, and a way to very quickly and easily, and in a quite fun way, make some digital certificates which you can use for pupils, or if you really want, you could give one to your staff member too. So first up today, we're going to look at collaborating with the Whiteboard app. Today's question is, I've seen some other schools saying that they have been getting pupils to work together on tasks during home learning. Could you tell me a way that I might be able to do this? So it might seem at first quite difficult to get pupils to work together when they're not in the same room as each other, but there is one of the Inspire apps that makes it fairly easy to get this done. It's the Whiteboard app. It's a Microsoft app that's linked to Glow and Office 365, so it links into your Glow email address. And on here, you can add people, so it can be pupils, staff members as well, into the same whiteboard to add work together on a task. Or if there's a larger number of pupils, say for example an entire class, you can very easily share a link with them to that same whiteboard. So I'm going to show you now a quick demonstration of how you can add pupils into a whiteboard and then they can work collaboratively on it, and also how to share the link to more people as well. So we're going to go through now how to use the Whiteboard app. It's one that you can download from self-service and then you can add it to your home screen like so. This is what will happen when you first go onto the Whiteboard app. You'll need to sign in with a Microsoft account, but because of the Authenticator app, it makes it fairly easy to do. So if you press on Work or School Account, you then need to pick your account from the Authenticator. It will take a couple of minutes just to go through the process, and then your first whiteboard there is loaded up. Okay, now in order to share this with pupils, there's 2 ways that you can do it. One is by individually adding pupils in with their Glow email address. The other way is to send a link to pupils and anyone with that link can get onto the same whiteboard. To add pupils into the same whiteboard, you press on the little blue mark next to your Glow profile. You will then be given the chance to invite someone. Okay, so if you were looking on your list and you were saying GW and you had someone there, so let's say I was inviting Mr. Miles and Mrs. Tweddle from Tweedbank, I could choose their names there and then that would add them in. And basically what that means is they would get a link sent to their email. They would also be able to see it from their Whiteboard app as a shared one, and then anything that goes onto this whiteboard they're able to do as well. So if I was to write them a little question saying, can you tell me how you're feeling today? Let's say if we went down this road here. Oh, let me take that back just now. Let's do it as a wee thing here. How are you all feeling today? Press down at the bottom corner, and then that puts that in as a wee post-it note. They can then write down next to it how they're feeling. They can sign it off with their name, they can add little text boxes themselves, and they are able to tell me the exact answer to that question. Now obviously that's just a demo question. If you were doing learning on a space topic, you could do a space-based question and get everyone to put their answers in around it. So it's a really easy way to set it up so that everyone can contribute to one single document. If you're wanting to do the link sharing way, you go in the same way by pressing the blue button, but you can see in this top right hand corner there's 2 little links that are connected to each other. If you press on that, it says web sharing link off. Well, all you need to do to turn it on is turn it on like that. And then it says anyone with this URL has access to this whiteboard. To stop sharing, turn the web sharing link off. So if you copy that link, that means it's copied to your keyboard, which means that say you were to go onto Teams and post it into a channel, anyone that has access to that Teams channel also now has access to this link. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email myself the link. So I'm going to email it to my personal email address, and then I'm going to get you to trust me that I am using my phone on the Whiteboard app, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I am accessing the link on my phone, and then you can see what happens on the screen at the same time, okay? But you just have to trust me that I am not actually pressing these buttons on my iPad. It is via another device with another account. So I've just finished off emailing myself that link. I've now got it on my phone in front of me. And if I take the little text box tool and I start typing in here, I am feeling very good, and then sign it off with my name, you can see that what pops up on the whiteboard at exactly the same time as I let it go is my response. And if I want to move it about, it also moves on the screen, and it says you won because that means I'm user one that's moving it, okay? So you can see in real time every single change that happens. What you can do when you've got the pupils named is it will actually say on there who has put that in, okay? So I could maybe give it a wee thumbs up here, and it puts a wee thumbs up on my phone as well. So you can give your pupils a little bit of feedback to tell them how you're feeling, how you're thinking about their work, sorry. So you can see there, it's very, very easy to set up. It is super simple to use as well. So you can change it in any way that you want. You can have drawings, you can have images, you can have pictures, you can have questions. Anything that you want is very, very easy to use on Whiteboard. And it's a really great tool to use for collaborating with other people. Next up, we're going to have a look at presenter mode on Pages and how that can be used for reading in class. We've got, is there any way that pupils can read from an auto cue on their iPad? I'm keen to do a news report when we return and think an auto cue would enhance this learning. Well, the good news is yes, and it's very, very easy to set this up within the Pages app. It's a feature called presenter mode, and what it does is it turns your text into a scrolling auto cue. What you're able to do with that is you're able to change the font, the text size, but most importantly, you can change the speed that the text scrolls on the screen so that pupils can keep a really good pace when they're reading aloud. What I'll do now is I'll show you how to set up for presenter mode, and I'll give you a wee demonstration of how the app works. So I'm now going to show you how to use presenter mode on Pages for doing an auto cue for reading a news report. So I've went into the Newsround website here, and then I've previously turned it into reader view so that you've just got the text like so. I've copied and pasted the text and then put it onto a Pages document, so you can see there that I've got all the words that were appearing on the Newsround document. Now, if I was to read that out loud and I had to scroll it myself, it would take me a fair bit of time to do it, and I would have to move the screen on my own as well. But the feature within Pages, which is called presenter mode, makes this really easy to read. So if you press the three-dot menu at the top inside the circle, and then you're looking for the one that says presenter mode, just like so. Now what that does is it changes the text completely. It changes it to the font goes bigger, the size of it goes wider at the sides as well, but you can change that in your own way too. So if you want to make the text slightly smaller, you can, or slightly bigger. You can change the backgrounds as well to different things, so you can have it on a clearer one for yourself. You can change the font very easily as well. And you can also make it all capital letters if you want, or not. You can change the line spacing in between the words, the margins at the side as well. So you've got lots of features that you can play around with there. What I really like though is the bit at the bottom. This is the auto scroll. It can go as short as 100 words per minute or as fast as 190. And you can put it at a speed that you feel comfortable with as you're reading. And all you need to do in order to make it auto scroll is just one time tap on the screen. So I'm tapping on the screen now, and you can see it moving up. Some of the most terrifying creatures from the dinosaur era of the Jurassic are to feature on special 50p coins. Sea creatures, Plesiosaurus and Temnodontosaurus, as well as flying dinosaur, Dimorphodon, will appear on the coins. And you can see that it just scrolls up itself at that same pace all the way through. So it's a really interesting tool to use with pupils to get pace and speed of reading taught to your pupils. So they can use that in various different ways. I've used this with presentations where they're reading things out to me. I know that our primary 7 teacher, Miss Thompson, she has a weekly school news report that they put together, and I know that they use presenter mode as well on there. So it's a really great tool to use for getting pupils into the way of presenting their reading in a very good way. And as I say, if you want to ever stop the presentation, so say you're looking to get some questions, it's as simple as tap it once and it will stop, tap it again and it will continue. So you can easily do that very, very easily. You can see down this right hand side, when you press a stop, you can see your progress bar, and as soon as it goes to the bottom, you'll know that you're there. Okay, so very, very easy to turn a bit of text into an auto cue by going to presenter mode and then tapping start. And our final topic this week is digital certificates for pupils and staff. The question is, I'm looking for a quick way to make some digital certificates. What's the best app that we can use for these? So a couple of ways that you can do this. One is very quick, using Pages and the built-in templates on there. The other one that I'm going to suggest is using Keynote and then including some Apple Memoji tools in the Messages app within that Keynote certificate. So the very quickest way of doing this is a certificate template on Pages. All you need to do once you've found the template and clicked on it is edit the text, add your image, and it can be done probably within a minute, I would imagine. A more fun way of doing this though would be to use the Apple Memoji in Messages, and I'll give you a wee demonstration on how to find that if you've not done it already. And then you can use these within a very basic Keynote slide to build a bit of a more personal certificate. So I'll go through the examples of how to use Pages and Keynote to make some digital certificates for you just now. So this is how to get some digital certificates using templates on Pages. So when you open up the Pages app, you'll probably have your recent documents that are there. First of all you need to do is to press on the plus in the top right hand corner, and that will show you different templates that you can choose from. The certificates, if you've not used them previously, are right down the bottom. You can see there's two different ones there. There's a classic one and a kids one. I'm going to use the kids one for my one today. But if you have used it previously, you may find it also might be at the top in your recent part, just like so. So if I click on that once, what happens is it opens up the template. So you can see a kind of generic photo of a child. You can see names. You can see some Latin words there like you often find with templates. And then it's up to you what you do with it. So the very easy way is you can click the photo, click the plus, choose a photo or video, and then you can put a wee thing in. So I'm going to put this one here of me in, my little Memoji, which I'm going to show you how to find later on. You can then edit the name here and put in whoever's name you want. You can save what they've achieved, change the teacher name, change the date if you want to. You can customize that in whichever way you want to. Now, if you're using this with pupils and they've got their own iPad, then a very easy thing to do, if you've got them in class, would be to go the three dots, share, and then just airdrop it over. And once you've found someone in your class, you can airdrop it to that one person and they can get that certificate for themselves. So they can have a digital copy of it. If you're wanting to send it in a different way, you could also export it to Teams, export it to Outlook as well. And you could maybe even send it to a parent through Outlook as well. If you're wanting to print it, the way that to print it would be to go export and probably choose it as a PDF. Email yourself a copy of it or add it into your OneDrive folder. Then you can go and access it on your computer to print it at work. Okay? So that's a very quick and easy way to make a certificate using Pages. And now I'll show you how to do a more complex one, but slightly more personal, I would say, using the Memoji things on Messages, but also using Keynote to build your certificate. So built into the Apple iPad is in the Messages app is the thing called Apple Memoji. And if you click on that just there, you can see that because it's an iPad and it doesn't have the full features built in on the SBC iPads, is you can't actually send messages, I don't think. You might be able to, but I certainly don't know how to do it. But what you can do within this is find the Memoji. So if you press the send message item, which is the square with the pencil in the corner, you can then see at the bottom you've got the photos choices, you've got App Store, but you've also got a thing called stickers, and within stickers there is a built-in thing called Memoji which you can create. So this is what I have created of myself, and I often use these with pupils. But to create a brand new one, you press the three dots at the left hand side and you choose new Memoji, and from there you can choose the skin color, you can choose your cheeks, your beauty spot, you build it all up. You can choose your hairstyle as well. You build it up to basically make it look like a digital representation of you. You can add in eyebrows, eyes, head, the whole shebang, and then from there you just press done and it creates that character for you. Okay, so then once it's done, you would press done in the top right hand corner. I'm just going to press cancel because I've already made mine. But from there, you can then see that all of these get created for you. So your one face that you create gets turned into these things down here. Now, how to use these for some digital certificates would be, I would be taking a screenshot of the one that you want to use and then using that image within a Keynote presentation. So let's say I was wanting to give a thumbs up to people for doing a really good bit of work. I could do a screenshot just now, have a look at my screenshot, crop it so that I've just got this little bit down here, press done and press save to photos, and that's now saved in my photo album. If I now come into Keynote and come away from my template that I'm making this video with, and just press the plus up here and choose a theme. I can just choose a very, very basic one. Let's just go with Showcase and open that up. And then if I press the plus in the bottom left hand corner, you can see you've got a few choices here for things that you want to use. Probably for a certificate, I might pick either title, bullets and photo, or title and photo alt. I think I'm going to go for this one here for today. For the photo, I'm going to press the plus and press choose photo or video. And then I'm going to press my little Memoji there. And then you can see that my thumbs up from the messages is now in there like so. I can then do this here. So I could say congratulations. I could say to, and then a pupil. Let's just call this pupil William. And I'm going to say you have been doing some fantastic home learning. You should be really proud of yourself. From Mr. Graham. You can date it at the bottom as well. Thursday, 25th of February. And there, in no time at all, let's make that congratulations. Then you've got a really basic certificate that's there. What you can do with that is you can download that as an image to send to that pupil. Or again, if you just want to do it simply, you can just take a screenshot of that, crop it, and then add it into your photos. And then what you could do with that is you could post it onto your Teams page. And that's a very, very basic way of doing it. You can do it more creatively if you want. You can add other photos in. You can add other borders or whatever it is you want to do. But again, it's a more personal way, I think, than the Pages one that's up there already. Okay? So you can do that using the Memoji. You just go into your Messages app, press your stickers, take a wee screenshot of the one that you want to do, and then copy and paste it into there. Okay? And that's all for this week's Inspire Q&A. If you've got any questions that you want to ask for future videos, please email them across to me. It's gw12grahamroddy3@glow.sch.uk. There'll be a new video out every Friday. We're going to do them weekly for the next few weeks, just because there's lots of information to pass on to you about when we're returning to school, when we're still in home learning. There'll be a fair few things to share then. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. That means that you will get the videos as soon as they are uploaded, and you don't need to wait for the YouTube link to be sent to you. But if you don't want to subscribe, then the YouTube links will be sent via your head teacher each week. If you just hang about as well for the next 30 seconds after this wee video stops, you will find out a wee bonus video, which is mainly for Mrs. Tweddle from Tweedbank Primary, but some of you also might find it handy as well. Okay, speak to you soon, guys, and I'll see you next week. Right then, Mrs. Tweddle, iPad, keyboard stand. Let's make it stand up on the keyboard stand like a triangular prism. Take your iPad. If you use it that way around with the home button to the right, you can make sure that it magnets on. If you do it the other way around, it doesn't stick. If you do it that way, it clips on and it makes sure it sticks on. Then all you need to do is this little line here, fold that up like so, and clip that in there, and then it will stand up perfectly. What you can then do is you can do it up and down the way like that, so you can change the angle that the stand is on. But that is the shape that you want to make with your iPad stand, so that it stands up like a triangular prism.